Hello, James here. I'm about to make another video, and I'm going to watch a short commentary. There's a couple gentlemen that I want you to check out. First was the one guy I was talking about yesterday, Black Ram, and he had this lady that these two ladies was on a panel with this young man, and that he was studying to be a physicist. He's a young man. He's a black male, and I was watching this on Phil's advisory, Phil Scott show, and so. But before I get to that video, I'm going to show this video about, and I'm going to chime in with my opinion on what Raul says on this topic on high earning men, high earning women. This woman chase high earning men. If I said that right, I'm gonna chime in. I found a software that kind of like I had with schematic where I can pull up on my computer. So now, because my camera went out on it, didn't work well with the software.
She's now around men of high status and high earning, and she doesn't understand why they're not chasing her. Before I get started, I'd like to give a special thanks to Neil Trey for your generous contribution and supporting my channel. If you'd like to support my channel also, the links are in the description box. So let's get into today's video.
Men with money or status that obviously don't know me well enough is I be questioning based on how they act and their lack of communication skills. Like, do y'all think the average woman does not constantly come across men with high net worths? Like, cause it just be like they be acting like they the only guy with status or net worth in a certain tax bracket that you've ever met, and you're supposed to like triple, quadruple text, chase, fixate about them, try and make yourself available for them. And I just be sitting here like, I'm not texting you again, I'm not answering your call, I'm not available. I don't give a bro, cause that's what it be feeling like. The energy that they sending out is like, I'm one of a kind and you've never had this before. Are you fucking dumb?
Now, let's help her out, shall we?
Y'all know what be confusing me about men with money or status that obviously don't know me well enough is
When she says they don't know me well enough, that's code for I don't chase men. Men chase me. Don't you see this pretty face?
I be questioning based off of how they act and their lack of communication skills. Like,
Their lack of communication skills means they're not blowing up her phone, which is what she's used to from average earning men.
do y'all think the average woman does not constantly come across men with high net worths?
No, the average woman does not come across high earning men or men with status on the regular. And clearly, this is new to you too. That's why you're making this video starting off saying you're confused about what's going on.
Like, cause it just be like they be acting like they the only guy with status or net worth in a certain tax bracket that you've ever met, and you're supposed to like triple, quadruple text, chase, fixate about them, try and make yourself available for.
But this is exactly what happens to these type of guys. Women chase, quadruple text, and makes themselves available for them. And when a woman like you comes along and doesn't fall in line, they're not going to waste any of their time with you. Simply because women that look like you are a dime a dozen to them.
them, and I just be sitting here like, I'm not texting you again, I'm not answering your call, I'm not available. I don't give a bro.
If you don't text them, you don't call them, and you don't give a what do you think they're saying about you? You're not even on their radar the minute you leave their presence. Because their phones are blowing up from other women who will text, call, and answer his call on a regular basis.
Cause that's what it be feeling like. The energy that they sending out is like, I'm one of a kind. You've never had this before. Are you f***ing dumb?
Notice she said that's what their energy feels like. She didn't say that's what they actually say. And no, they're not dumb. They're just adjusting to their environment, which is the same thing she's done all her life with regular earning men. She's expecting high profile, high earning men to chase her like regular earning men do. It's not going to happen. See, here's a woman that's been getting pretty privileges all her life. Average earning men have been chasing her, calling her, texting her, and they answer the phone when she calls. She, on the other hand, has had the option of not texting back, not calling, and not answering the phone when a regular guy calls. But these average earning men will continue to call her. Now she's in the presence of men who are on the opposite side of the spectrum. These men are not going to do what she's used to, and she just can't understand it. So let me take a quick minute and clear this up for her and women like her. This represents all the available men in her state. This represents all the high-earning, high-status men in her state. This represents all the available women in her state. This represents all the women who would prefer a high-status, high-earning man in her state. And this represents all the women who are willing to text, call, answer the phone when he calls, and make herself available in her state. And this is her. I'm sorry, did you see that little dot right there? That's her. All the women that are willing to make themselves available for him are the ones that are on those guys' radar. And she's not one of them. The bottom line is, she's used to being the one being chased after, and she can just brush any of those guys off to the side. But now, the tables have turned. Now these guys are the ones that's being chased after. And she's being brushed to the side. And she doesn't know how to handle it. Well, my dear, get used to it if you're going to be rubbing elbows with high status, high earning men. Because nothing is going to change. These guys are going to stay exactly that way. So if you want to get back to your norm, you need to be where the regular earning guys are, who will chase you, text you, and constantly call you. These high earning men, they are not going to do it. So sorry, my dear, but your pretty privileges only work on regular earning men. And I really hope she sees this video, because then she can never say nobody explained it to her. Hey, somebody had to tell her. I love her, so it might as well be me.
I totally agree with what you're saying. That's true. It's no regular high earning dude going to just sit there and chase you. Look, these high earning dudes got options. They can have women all over the world. They have the resources have all over the world. And so, hey, this is they're under submission, and they would be like that, and that's where some women looking forward to. But this is a case right here. This young man is a physicist. These women, this was on another channel. This is Black Ram's channel. This guy, he's 27 years old. He's a straight A student. So it means he's got a future, and plus he was saying that he knows martial arts and things, and I was like, wow, man. And one of the things that what the other YouTube creator was saying is Phil Scott. He was saying that women want a man that will provide and protect. Here's a man that know how to a young man that know martial arts and obviously know how to handle himself. Two, he is a physicist, and he's a high earning young man, and he's 27 years old. And the entitlement with some of these women is unrealistically. They are so empty shell inside. They so entitled. And that's why a lot of these women you see a lot of women who are pretty that they're alone. So some of you men that always say, why, man, I don't understand why she's very attractive. She got an attractive face and attractive body. 9 chances out of 10, the reason why she like that, because it's like what he said. They expect it because they're pretty and privileges. You're supposed to just give them, and you're just supposed to be like a doormat, let them walk all over you. And that's basically what it is. Let them do what they want to do because they're pretty and they're beautiful. And they don't have to contribute nothing back. I mean, like he said, pretty privileges. That's why I say you can have something. The best way to describe it, it's like having a car. You can have the most beautiful car in the world, But if it don't have a transmission and the fuel pump jacked up, the car ain't worth it. You just have a beautiful car on the outside, but it's jacked up. I mean, it looks good, but it ain't going nowhere. And then you have to spend a ton of money to find a way, if you have the money, to fix the transmission and the fuel pump to get the car running. I mean, what's the point? But it's like you just don't pick. The moral of the story is don't pick something just because it looks good. You got to see it and you got to check it out. And you have to really see. You have to get real deep in detail on what you get. And I mean, it's the same way in a relationship. You have to really see deep in what's deeper in the beauty. Is the quality there? Is the wife quality there? Girlfriend to soon be fiance to wife quality, or she just want to be pretty because she just feels so entitled because she got all these, and there's a lot of women walking around with that mentality, man. It's just that they're attractive, that they're attractive, their model status, but yet they don't have a man, and they can't keep a man, and then if they keep letting men run through them, certain ones run through them, they're going to age up, so you ain't going to look good forever. I mean, no person, everybody's body change over time. When you get older, they'll go from your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, and so on. Your body changes. You're aging. So why don't you just learn to appreciate what you have now so you will be preserved in your latter years. You would figure that there's some women would understand this, but nah, they don't understand this. They're like a broken shell, just trying to make themselves look like that, and they like the attention of men. So, ooh, yeah, I'll give you the world, baby. And they, oh, you really do? And I don't have to do nothing, but they think they don't have to do nothing. They don't have to. It's all about them. It's centered around them because they have a body. But there's women that got a body, but also got a good heart too. There's women out there that will give if they met the right man, all around the world. This is what these women don't understand. That how you can say to a woman, well, that woman is heavy set, she's unattractive, she look average in this, but yet, isn't the principle of the point is to land a relationship with the right person and be happy with that person, not to go from open up your heart to every person and being in a relationship with them and you get yourself burnt and hurt all over again. That's the whole point about it. But yeah, it was just crazy how they complain about, and particularly, a certain demographic of women, that the men are leaving the community, that they don't love their mamas that look like them, but yet they leaving for other women. But yet they're not willing to give in the extra fortitude to be a wife. Like I said, the only way I said in the previous video, for some women to be one what their girlfriends have or their mothers or aunts have, to have a happy, lasting love relationship, is they have to submit, lovingly submit, and that's the couple you see that's that know how. But if you're not willing to give part of yourself, and you're not gonna give to no man, then why should a man spend his time? You have a lot of entitled women because they get on the camera and show their body. They take pictures of their body. That's fine. That's only part of it. The sex is another part of it. But the long term is to keep the relationship going. That's what it is. That's the whole goal, should be to keep a relationship. But it was like, wow, man. And they called this dude the square, man. pretty much a square. He don't say that he don't have a personality. That's what these women said about the guy. Yeah, but the young man got stuff going on for himself. And there's young men like that there'll be a woman out there in some part of the world say, wow, you know, he's good husband potential. You would figure something like that because he's going to be there and it's somewhere in his 30s. He's going to have to be set. Now this young man is going to be a physicist. I mean, and he's in martial arts, and he got some other things going on for himself. So he's preparing for his goal, his future. But you got these women sitting up there saying that he don't have no personality, he's lame. And he's the type of guy, he got that certain look about him, so he ain't gonna have no problem getting women, you know. That we say, oh, you don't want him? I'll take him. But when it's a woman of a different origin, a different nationality, they get pissed off. No, this is that those women were ready. They were ready to have a relationship, mature enough. You know, it's just crazy, man. You have a lot of immature people that don't know how to recognize in their time and season. And it's sad because I've seen people and they never change even when they get in their 40s and 50s with that mindset. They don't understand. At that point, when they're in their 40s and 50s and so on, the only thing you can do is, the only one that can change them is God. It's like I always said, ain't no sense because they're going to have the stubborn attitude, no, it's not me, it's everybody else. And that's what it is. So that's why the men that look like myself go to other communities, because what they're not told about the women like that they just take them for their personality or what they are. They don't have to go over the top to get the man. And that's the truth. That's the reason why. But I'll watch this video. But yeah. But there's women that are ready to settle down. I mean, there's men that are ready to settle down. But it's hard to find a woman in the planet that understands the principle of a wife. And the only way a woman is going to get that type of man to have it all together is that she has to humble and be appreciative of what she have. And that's something that you don't find today. You find a bunch of pretty women whining, complaining. Then when they present it to a dude, hold on, it's a short version of it. But this guy's a physicist. This is off of O'Shea Du Jackson's.
Stereotypes that some of us just can't live up to. Not all of us are funny. Not all of us can dance. Not all of us are charismatic or light up a room when we walk in. It's true for some of us, but not all of us. One of the things that a lot of women like to do is hold a lot of black men up to that expectation. So many guys struggle in the black community. Now, it doesn't mean that you're not a good-looking guy, or that you're not tall, or that you're not light or dark-skinned, because I have a clear case where, this guy probably would be, for most women, an attractive guy. But that doesn't mean anything if you don't have some of the charisma. Now, guys, there is a channel by the name of Melly Monaco. She's a French sister living in California. She has something called the Pineapples Dating Show. Now, what she does is kind of very similar to Kendra G, where she tries to, match people. And on this particular episode, there was a man who said he was a nuclear physicist for the military. God, he
was trying to come on and get a date. Now there was another sister up there, and she was waiting on him and all of that kind of stuff, and they had a little bit of interaction. And I want to play this clip so you guys hear how it went, and then we'll come back and talk about it.
Oh, hi.
What up? You reading?
Yeah, I was actually reading. I ship out in a few days, so I was just reading the art of strategy.
Okay.
For the military?
Yeah, so actually I'm a nuclear physicist with the Navy, so I do that in a few days.
How old are you?
I am 27. I look a little young, I'm not that young.
Yeah.
So where do you live?
So I'm actually in the Woodlands, Texas right now. Right down there by Houston. I'm about 30 minutes away from Houston. So I'm a little close.
Nice. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your stuff.
Man, where do I start? I like martial arts a lot. I did a bit of pharmacy back when I was a little bit younger, about 2-3 years ago. I got certified in pharmacy around when I was 17. I didn't really do anything with it. I went to university for a while. I was getting like a business degree, so I have a bachelor's in business. And then I did pharmacy for a little while, for about 3 years, and then got bored. So I was like, let's go see what the military has to offer. Didn't do anything. I did my PICAT about a year ago. Got a 96 on that. It goes up to a 99. Got a 96. They offered me nuclear physics, and I was like, why the fuck not? So I went there, and now I ship out in a few days.
Okay, nice. Well, best of luck as you ship out pineapples.
Yeah. Why?
Because he literally didn't tell me any qualities about himself. He's just like, I made a 96 on this. I did this. And I feel like I did that at first too. But however, I need a man with some personality.
That quick? You know you didn't have personality?
Yes, I'm really good at reading people.
Okay.
So guys, you saw how that went. She rejected him. Now, I don't really know if the guy was a nuclear physicist, because I don't know if you can achieve all of those things and become a nuclear physicist, because he said he was doing a business degree and all this. I think the guy was not really telling the truth. But be it as it may, he seemed like he was a guy that was trying to be something in life, and at best, he was a little nervous. You heard what she said, like, tell me a little bit about yourself. So he started talking about the things that he does, because that's typically what men do, We talk about, where we work, our lives, things like that. I believe if she wanted to know more about him, what she could have done is she could have asked him to clarify the question. Like, what is it about your personality, that you can offer to a woman? Because, he could have a great personality. He could be a loving, caring person. It's just that maybe he didn't really understand what she wanted. But instead of her doing that, she automatically canceled him. And the reason why is because he wasn't entertaining enough for her. Now, I just want to say this. Looking at this guy, most ladies, if you drop him off in the black community, he's not going to be the kind of guy that has a problem dating, right? And that's what we think. But you have a lot of guys in the black community, and shout out to Ron Wills, who are what women would consider tall or good looking, and they have struggles dating because women are turned off by their attitude or by their personality, because it's a little corny, it's a little dorky. He doesn't have the ability to maybe make a woman laugh. And then what happens is a black man like this, who's trying to date black women, he's interested in dating black women. What does he do? I'll tell you what he does. He goes and starts dating white women, because those characteristics that he talked about, a white woman, not all, but some, may process that as, okay, well, he's an ambitious guy. He was trying to do pharmacy, he's trying to do business, he's in the military, he's in the Navy. Hey, here's a guy that's really trying to be something in life, and I would love to be with a man that has these qualities. And if he's anything committed to his career, that it would be in a relationship with me, this is the kind of guy for me. But so many times, what you see in Black America is a lot of the women's, kind of preferences in guys is, how can he make me be entertained? Is he funny? Good looking, obviously that's important. But clearly, as we see here, she wasn't even thinking about the fact that, okay, well, he may or may not be good looking. She automatically shut him off in like 2 minutes.
Let me interrupt right here and say this. She also in the fact that he's in the military. So one day when he gets out of the military, he gonna have some good ass benefits. I mean, he's gonna be set. He's a nuclear physicist, and one day when he retired, somewhere in his probably I don't know how long he's gonna be in the military, but if he get out of the military, he's gonna be a stable man. But they don't take it and figure
and the
that.
reality is this: she has the right to her preference. But
The University of Cincinnati Online, a longtime leader in innovation.
But yeah, women don't see the provision in something like a man like that. They don't see the provision. And here's the guy, is in the armed services, got a damn good job, and then when he get out of the service, he could go right into a field that already he's gonna have 2 pensions. So whenever he gets out and coming back in the civilian field, he'll have 2 pensions, one from the military, one from whatever company in his. So he's set for life. He's already made the go. Then he got, if it's so, I believe he got a bachelor's degree in the administration. He's business minded. But yet some women don't have the vision. They don't see the vision in some men. They don't see that vision. They, like he said, they see entertainment, and that's the truth. But it's like, bye, you're not my personality. And like he said, some other women, whether they be white or other one of these other nations, gonna snatch that up. Because like, hey, you better snatch him up because that he's gonna be stable. By the time he's 35, 40 years old, he's gonna be stable. See, some women don't think about that.
Innovation has created an exclusive opportunity to help.
reality is this: she has the right to her preference, but with a young lady like her, who do you think is going to have more opportunities in the next 5 years? Somebody like him or somebody like her? And again, this is what is so frustrating. A lot of the black men in black America that are going to be some of your guys in the business world, and don't get me wrong, I know guys in the business world in the medical fields that are funny, that got personality, they're not just dorks, right? But a lot of times you see some of the guys that are in these fields, can be considered stoic. They're not very exciting. And they will have trouble dating in black America because that's just not them. And so sisters tend to pass up on these guys for men who are a little bit more charismatic, men who are a little bit more funny, a little bit more entertaining, but they don't have undergirded in that any kind of infrastructure for the relationship. And then the guy has a very bad work ethic. He can't save money. He's not a leader. He doesn't know how to do things. And then, a few babies after a guy like that, then you're going to come back later for a guy like the one that just got rejected.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you see him doing? He's with a white girl. He's with an Asian girl. He's with somebody mixed. Because some woman is going to appreciate him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a little nervous, right? I mean, he's just going to blurt it out. And even she said, you know what? When I first came on, I was nervous. She didn't want to give a guy a chance. And there are a lot of black men out there that want to be with black women, and black women just don't give them chances. But when other groups of women give them chances, then it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So either you want these guys or you don't.
Yes.
But guys, what do you think? It's your boy.
Very true. And they don't see the provision in the future. Like, wow, this is the type of man that if I'm going to open up my legs and have his children, me and my children are going to be set for life. And your children have to struggle because they'll benefit one day when he gets old, and he'll get the benefits. They'll get the benefits off of it. See, they don't think about that. But you turn down a man like that. I guess he's gonna be set when he's 35, 40 years old. He's gonna be set for the rest of his life. He got again. Um, he's in the military. Wow. And he's going in whatever corporation he'll have the experience in nuclear physicist to go work at one of these major corporations making six figures on top being a veteran. Then one day when he gets about 62, 65 and over, oh, he's set. He have a nice little house somewhere, a nice little piece of property. He probably own some business or whatever, and he's going to be set up for the rest of his life. See, then the visionaries that some of these women reject to because they want it now, and it's like what O'Shea said. That's true. You're gonna find some dude that's entertainment, and then have a few kids with, and then come back and expect like some dude like supposed to clean up after that. No, you had your chance, and every day there's good dudes like that get passed up every single day. They're all around us in different walks of genres alike. But when women look, they don't look at his debt provision where he's going to, and then these same women get mad because they see a young man look like that who's very attractive and can attract any type of woman on the globe. They call him a sellout or whatever. But you didn't want to give him no chance because you want someone like he was saying. That's what you really want. You say one thing, but this is what you really do. And you contradict, and this is what I'm saying. A lot of women contradict themselves and saying that some of these men ain't no good, they dorky, they lame, they lame in the bed, whatever. But they look at their mentality. When the ones that talk like that, look at their mentality. They're not some of these women are not the smartest writing the book. Because if you were a smart woman would snatch that up and say, man, this is the type of man that's what I call a kingdom man. That's the man that's preparing his kingdom. That's a young man is preparing himself. He's in the position to prepare his kingdom. Provide, protect, provision. He got the vision. He has the drive. He has the zeal of life. But you don't see that. And like some of these women that don't see that. You got entitlement because you think it's your beauty. Your beauty is gonna fade over time. I mean, even if you do work out, whatever, you're still gonna age in your body. You can't hold on your beauty forever. And be gracious that you get a man that he's committed. At least he's not abusive. He don't slap women around. He don't stalk women. He ain't out there cheating, whoring around, whatever. This the man. But he obviously he's doing. At some point, I don't know if but I'm pretty sure he wants to one day settle down. That's not really in his plan to go whoring himself, spreading his seed all over the place. Just like some men do. Some men spread their seed all, and then the same type of women that be chasing behind men that spreading their seed all over the place. And like he said, they don't have no work, infrastructure. They don't have no provision. They just doing what makes them feel good now, and that's the problem with people in our community. We don't see. Some of us don't see the vision. Some of us, not all of us. Some of us don't see it. And the small percentage to do is only about this percent compared to this percent. And it's the truth. It's like all you gotta do is entertain and cut the rug. And you see some people be thinking that they be flashing like the rappers with the stack of money and the golds on the wheels and 100 pair of tennis shoes and 100 pair of that. That's not really. It's establishing wealth. That's a precursor. And putting in the clothes, and putting all in the other things, but instead of putting the things that's this necessity. It's good to have nice things, but and have a nice. But some people go overboard with the crap. Really go overboard, and that's not. You don't see wealthy people doing that. You don't. People who have tremendous wealth, they know that they're wealthy. They don't be flashing their money and flashing. They got a nice look. They try. Most probably wealthy millionaire, billionaire people would drive around in the average car, have a nice little house, and that's it. But it's like we got to showcase that to try to. It's like, what is the point of show? And I think that's one of the baddest things that we have in our culture. Why? What you got to prove? Why are you trying to show something that makes someone envious and jealousy at you so they can rob? And you know there's some low-minded people that were trying to steal from you or they'll rob you because they're desperate. So wealthy people understand. That's one thing I think that wealthy people understand, that you don't flash everything and you don't run your mouth to everything too. And you don't have to say, you don't have to brag about it and who you know. Wealthy people don't do that. Wealthy and rich people don't do some things that the average person. They just know that they don't have to prove that they're high class. They don't have to prove that they value. People will talk about them. People brag on them. They don't have to say a word. You see some of these people that are billionaires that own social media sites and stuff. You think, for example, Elon Musk got to brag about him being a baller, flashing gold chains and stacks of money? He ain't got to do something like that. He's a billionaire. You think Mark Zuckerberg got to do something like that? Bill Gates or anybody got to flash? They ain't got to say nothing. The people who already know that they're wealthy and study their tactics on how to be wealthy. See, someone have to see, if you know you got it going on and you got a little kingdom built up around you. The thing about this, people come bragging about you. Not you got to brag about and boost yourself, and trying to be self-confident. People will see that you're confident when they see what you have around you, but you're humble with what you have. That's the key about it. But you have some people that don't understand that. But yeah, it's something. And he just gave his insight on what his drive and what his goal is. It was not that he was bragging. He was just showing where his head his mind at, and the women even pick that woman even pick it up. He don't have no person, and like he said, he could have been nervous for the first time or anything. But this is the reason why. These are your visionary men that want to stay in the community. These are your men. So what they supposed to do? Wait around till he get 40, 50 years old, be miserable for the rest of his life? Why should he? Because you want to feel entitled. Women, and most women like that, want to feel entitled because they got a pretty face and a body. Why? Why should he wait around? When there's other women that know how to be a woman, that see provision in his vision and say, I can stand with something like that. And like he said, it's true, that's her preference. But how many women that you know right now in their 40s and 50s that had this mindset in their 20s and their 30s and they still single? They're still single. And they run around and they had kids with a man that had no provision. He had no vision. He had no insight. He ain't doing nothing. But he got babies around. He know how to sling this thing, talk some swag and game, make a few laughs. But what is the outcome of it? What is it? What does it prove? What is your future? What is the next 2 or 3 years? 5 years, 10 years. When you're in your 20s and your 30s, when you head up that ladder of life, your cuteness is going to go away at some point. And then some of these women, and I hate to say it, at some point, Kevin Samuels had one point. There's some women who choose to have this kind of mindset are going to die alone if they don't allow God to change their mind thinking and give them the provision. Well, Lord, it's just because of my looks. Well, there will always be good. There's more good-looking women on the planet, but there's good-looking women on the planet that were raised with the understanding that if you want to potentially share your life with somebody, to make your better life an easy life on you, a provision, a provider, a protector, you have to do something on your have too, not just be a pretty face. That's what it is. But you got some women that are so entitled now. And then if a man do show that provision, they'll use him and throw him to the curb and go chase behind some jerk and cater to the jerk. Give they all, their heart, their down there, and cook for him and everything, and cater to a jerk. Not to that young, not to a man like that. No, because he's too lame, he's too square. And they got nerve to get mad that one of these days when these men go out the community and go find another woman that see his vision, that help with his plan, that step back and support. What meanwhile she's doing her own thing, but she knows that they're gonna have a better future. So you got some women that don't think like that. That this is what you need to do. And so even if you have children, or you see someone that your children they inspired to see a man like this. So they get them kind of pushed up, because if you know some people come from a nuclear family, when the father's out there hustling, the sons and daughters take notice, and they want to go and be just like their daddy or their stepdaddy, because they see what he's doing. So even with the single mothers with the kids, they should think about that. Because you got your son and he's not motivated, your daughter's not motivated, and they just want to be shiftless and lazy, then guess who laid the example? They did. And what kind of men they brought in their life. See, the fact when you don't see, you gotta see the provision in the things. You don't see it. And now there's another man that some other community of women gonna snatch him up. They're gonna snatch him up. And the women that see the vision, watch. Oh, he dorky now, but in the end, he's gonna come out a lot better. And one day, when he get in his 50s and 60s, he's gonna be set for life. So the women kind of chuckle now. Watch. When he come out the military, benefits too. And he's set. Man. And then if he open up his own business and work at a corporation making 5-6 figures, oh man, a nuclear physicist. Women don't think like that. You got women that don't think like they want now. And then the other cases like with the other video where Raul was saying that she just think that high earning men, they ain't gonna waste no time with you. And that's very true. They're not gonna waste no time. It's like, you don't want to be bothered, keep it moving. When you got all these women that will give him that the time of day. See, this is how the way these good, and that's why you see. They say, man, why are these attractive women single? It's their mindset. Because if they was, they'd be smart enough to pick that right man and send, so they can be preserved in their years as they age in this earth. But if you want to be the opposite of the man and be that women player, because women trying to be like some men players, they want the man for this, they want a man for a nice guy they can get a little favors once in a while, and you got one man that has a crush on you, and they want 2 or 3 men so they can manipulate and talk sweet nothing to their ear, because they have privilege and got spoiled. Instead of just being glad to have a man that will give you all the things, instead of you trying to use and manipulate other different men. Because man, there are women that do the opposite of what men do to women, because they think that they're beautiful and they finesse this one guy, I can finesse another guy. But them days are drawn to a short, Because I knew a woman that did something like that, and guess what? Her health went down in decline. She was a very attractive young black sister. She was very attractive, but her health declined. And how I met her is through the chat line. She, get to the point that she couldn't get out of bed no more. Yeah, and she was warned in a dream to stop this. She was warned to stop doing this. But she thought too highly of herself. And she had 2 daughters. I don't think her daughters took the same path that she did, though. I don't think so. But this is what happened. In fact, if I have a picture of her now, I'm gonna show you. I'm going to show you this woman's picture. I haven't spoke to her in a while, and the last time I talked to her was years. Here's her picture. Because people think they think that life is plain. Last time I saw her, she couldn't get out of bed. Then she picked up a certain amount of weight. And once you get sick, you're gonna collect the weight. Here she is. I want to show you this picture. She's a very attractive woman, right? She lived down in Southwest Indiana. And I met her on the chat line. I'll give you a good look at her. Very attractive black female. Very attractive woman. Guess what? Her body changed. She don't look like this no more. She had men that go. This woman had men from all walks of life around her town. Had businessmen. Had good men. I'm talking about men that some women will go for. But the men fell for this. But here's the thing about it is, and she just took advantage of it. She just took advantage of the fact like, hey, you need to pick this man. He always crowded me and stuff. I don't want to deal with him. I don't want to deal. One guy was a funeral direct owner. Another guy was some other own other business, a barber shop or whatever. Black men doing this. And had her ex-husband was a computer programmer. This woman, she's bedridden. She's bedridden. Last time I seen her was online. She couldn't get out of bed. This is what it leads to. Now, where is those men are at? Where is those men at? She shooed them away. And hopefully that there's some man that stepped up and is looking after her in her years that she's bedridden now. Which means your beauty is not going to last for long. Your looks is not going to last for long, sister. You sisters out there, it's not going to last for long. You don't know what your faith is going to come out, because the lifestyle that you live. She's bedridden. The last time I don't know if she's still around or whatever. But I'm saying this. when I met her, that was her mindset. And you know, and after a while, because I just met her, just thought, man, because she's an attractive woman. I wouldn't mind even though she had 2 kids. Like, wow, I thought the same thing. But when I saw her action, I was like, I don't want this. No, no, no. I see your nature, because you think because you caught up in your that it's gonna last forever. You can keep weaning wounding these men. You had a good man, and you don't appreciate. And that's why I say there's women like that. They don't appreciate it. They look attractive like this, and they don't appreciate the man. They don't appreciate the good black men. And you wondering why one time we strayed to these other women, but you're manipulating, you're using us because some dude that probably used you, so you're gonna flip it and use it on good guys from every conjunction and walks of life. That's not happening. And you think we're gonna stick around? And after we didn't show the kindness and mercy, and you luckily, but yeah, she's bedridden. I had to show that picture as an example. That's what she liked back then. Just because her pretty in her body. But, and again, where she's at now is she's still in the land of the living, because she can hardly get off her out of her bed. See, that's the consequences of that when you stop manipulating. And this is to a warning to the women who have that kind of mindset. You're gonna keep manipulating and using you. Just like there's some curses that will come upon men who have that mindset, there's gonna be curses that come upon women with that mindset. If you don't repent, what you're doing, it's not cute. It's not funny. You're not sister girl. It's not black girl magic. You're only hurting yourself in the end. You're only going to hurt yourself in the end. And then no man no man won't be with you, because God will allow that curse to come upon you because you're using and manipulating men for your own gain. Don't matter what your body, you don't know what your body will look like next 10, 20, 30 years. Even if you did exercise, you don't know if your mind can go. You don't know what curse can come on your mind. That could be a curse. But this woman can no longer get out of her bed. Fact. And I witnessed her doing this to other men. And she's, James, I said, I don't want you. I said, no, James, I know you wouldn't mind getting with me at the time. I was like, no, I did at first, but man, to see what kind of woman that you is, no, no. And this is what black men, some of us black men, we out. Because you got some women that are too proud and too full of pride and ego. And it's like, you might as well just, if you're going to be so, I hate these black men, heck, you might as well go and turn your sex and go with the woman that's trying to look like us but got breasts. Basically be a lesbo, go full lesbo. You might as well, because you don't love them like men, because you don't even know how to let God distinguish, to let that alpha spirit go. You let God to deal with the rejection or whatever cause that alpha spirit that you don't need a man. When he's trying to present you a man that has provision, the man that got stability, a man that got a future that your grandmother had. Your grandmother understood this. That's why your grandmother and your grandaunt stayed married for 50-something years. Some young generation, baby boomers understood this. And the only reason why their husbands, they were honorable women and they look good at their age, because they honor their husbands. Now, was there some things going on? Yeah. In some cases it probably was all the case, but they didn't put their business out there on the street. They had problems, and they worked it out, and they stayed loving to each other. And no matter how old, how young it was, they had that ultimate love. Some of you women don't have that, like some men did. You don't have that love. You don't have like the mother, the grandmother, the grandparents that we have. You don't have the fortitude and dedication like they have. Oh, you smart, but and so was your grandmother. So was our grandparents. So was our mothers. But at the end of the day, what do you have in the future? What do you have for your future? This is what you need to think. Or you want to be like this woman, one day end up in a bedroom, end up in a bedridden state. She looked good in this picture. And she was warned. She told me about the dream that she saw, that he saw a closed casket, which means you keep going down this route, you're gonna die an adulterous death. These women need to stop playing, just like the men need to stop playing. Just because men are doing it, women, you shouldn't do it, because you're allowing something that can let some men come into you, and you don't know what's going to produce in your body. And if you let men run through you, you'll age on the inside. You look going on outside, but you be rotten and like walking dead people on the inside. And there's a lot of women, just like men, who got this mind, because their mindset. You got to change this. If you want a good man, you got to kill the entitlement. If you want a good man, if you don't want to die being a pretty old woman for the rest of your life, change your mindset. Change your mindset. Because young men like this, that's it. That's it. Once God don't bring once the blue moon. Yeah, you got some men that might come up to that category, but what about the other part of personality? Would they be loyal? Would they be giving? Would they love you? Would they be there for you when you're sick and bring soup to you when you're on your bed? Would they be there for you if you in the gym or you in the struggle? Would they be that answer? Would it for you through those rough patches? This is what you women need. Some of you women need to think. It's not always what's a slum of the tongue and what's between his legs. Same thing we have to learn as men. So it's something to think about. But yeah, that young lady I showed you, she's bedridden because of lifestyle that happened. It's something, I don't know what caused it, don't know what happened, but she can't know one thing, she can't get up out of bed no more. I want you to think about, if any woman listens to this video, and as well as a man, think about what you're doing. Think about you getting away with it. You cunning, you crafty, you got it going on. You ain't gonna have it forever. It's gonna catch up to you. Me, there's some stupid stuff I used to kind of do similar. I repent. I'm asking God to change this, because I don't want to suffer the consequences as I age in this body. As I get down the road to 60, 70, 80. I don't want to pay that kind of consequences and end up some nursing home because of something that I opened up the door to, because I couldn't forgive. I was embitterment that led to this. I don't want that to happen. I want to be in my right mind, right body, right everything. So I better start treating people right. All right then, ladies and gentlemen, Hope you enjoy this video. Till next time, take care. I'm out.